So we'll begin on the left side. As you will see, it's in a pretty poor state. Nobody has done anything to the shed in years, and evidently what is going to transpire on checkout is that we were meant to entirely strip, varnish and do various other things that are not in our contract to this dilapidated piece of crap. If you look over here, you'll see all of the paint completely lifted. These are holding up these runs to the extent that here, where my finger is, has completely come away. This is coming off because it's battered. Lifted paint there, and there it is from the side. It's in a poor state. This doesn't happen over a period of 2 years. It's also actually helped that you have a series of fence runs, which is actually from this fence here that was removed when our neighbour some time ago built his extension, and the cranes basically couldn't be bothered to put it back. What they subsequently did was to actually put it down the side of this shed. A stipulation of our contract was that this was to be removed because it's a complete eyesore, and also I was concerned about damp in the shed. It transpires that that concern was right, because as you can see, the thing's falling apart, but most importantly, it harboured rats, of which there's a large amount of documentation about. So if you come over here, you'll see that the bottom rung, which is actually meant to tie in the timber slats, such as this, which is actually in good nick, relatively, is completely rotten. This thing is actually falling out like that, and there are a lovely array of nails sticking out, which this is the state of the wood. That's the timber. It's crumbling away. Something to be noted that when environmental health visited for the first time, due to the fact that I had rat invasion in this very shed, upon appearing outside the shed with environmental health inspector Samantha Hall and Crane, expressed concern about the fact that apparently this wasn't in a fit state, similar state to how it originally was. I remind you, there was an environmental health officer present to inspect the shed for rats and various other violations of our tenancy and standards legislation. And Anne Crane was concerned about her dilapidated shed. It does beg the question that should you be that overly concerned about your dilapidated rubbish shed, then do something about it. But as standard procedure, it is to push onto the tenant by Anne Crane. So there you go.